Man, R.I.P. Black Rob. Of course, we might have mentioned that earlier on another podcast. I don't know. These days go by, they go in and out, or these episodes rather. But like we were talking about earlier, Black Rob's first album,
Impeccable.
amazing,
Impeccable.
amazing.
Yeah,
From
yeah,
the first song,
yeah.
whew,
His second
even
album not so much, but that first album, like,
I never heard the second album.
nobody, a lot of people didn't hear it.
Yeah,
But that first album was amazing. So rest in
but
peace, Black Rob.
it does bring up the bad boy curse.
The bad boy curse might lean into the fact that Bad Boy had money for mixing and production. Bad Boy was really getting a lot of rapper. I mean, you hear stories about, Biggie just wanted to rap for hours. Like,
Yeah,
no hooks, no nothing. Black Rob, the Lock. We were talking about that. The Locks might be the only people that kind of beat the Bad Boy curse, but they went from one major label to another major label. So,
but that's not what I meant by the bad boy curse. I wasn't talking about just the career.
What's the bad boy curse?
Nigga death. Nigga death. Nigga death and fucked up shit. Lil Kim walking around here looking like
Shine is still alive.
Okay, Shine. Okay, hold on. Wait.
G-Dep.
Death and bad shit.
Okay. Now we into something.
Shine with the prison. All right, for defending this man, which I gotta be honest with you niggas. If you're not my brother, I'm not defending you. I'm sorry, I'm not. You see how that goes. When shit goes down, real nigga snitch, the fuck up.
I gotta be honest, I'm not real. Because if somebody threw money in my face in the club, my instant reaction would be to pick up the money. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I've been like that. If
I'm not a real nigga.
I'd be like, I can't believe you. Yeah. Like, it would happen. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
So Shine. We got Biggie. Okay, dead. Loon, prison. G-Dep, prison. Loon's out, but G-Dep, come on, man. Lil Kim. Whatever words you want to use for Lil Kim, somebody could use those words.
But okay. So people will get on this when they talk about like Illuminati stuff, but you don't want to include that last run of Bad Boy, all the no-name people. I'm sure they fine.
Wait,
remember he had the
Danity Kane.
He had MGK. MGK is fine.
MGK he's fine.
He had your boy.
I forgot French Montana.
He had French Montana.
He's okay.
French Montana, okay.
Okay.
He had that one rapping white dude that nobody paid attention to. You remember when every rapper was like, "Oh, Eminem signed, let's sign a white guy."
Sign a white guy. Yeah. I forgot about that, Devon. You literally like. I don't even know. Like I was like that popped in my head. I go, what was his name? And I go, it wasn't G-Eazy, but like looked like him. But actually, that could be racist.
It could have been.
You know,
pull up a side by side and they look nothing alike. But I was like, whatever. It happens to us.
A nigga the other day told me that we were on a Zoom call. Told me I look like Isaac Hayes, nigga. I agree.
When I was in college one time, somebody told me I was working at Warehouse Music and it was a white guy. I was checking him out. And this was when Eminem was popular. And he goes, "Hey, Doug, you know who you look like? Dr. Dre." And here's why. I was already braced for it. Because whenever a white guy stops you and says, "Do you know who you look like?" It's a like 10 times out of 10 chance, like 100% chance, it's going to be wildly not who you look like. Like, it's like they pick one feature, like you got fingernails, he has fingernails.
That's it.
Like, I'm like, all right, cool. But he said Dr. Dre, and I was like, cool. And without missing a beat, I was like, you know who you look like? Eminem. And he didn't think it was funny. Like, he was like, I look nothing like Eminem. And I was like, and the funny thing is, I wish I had a picture of him. I wish I could go back in time, mentally capture that, because I'm positive that he looked more like Eminem than I look like Dr. Dre. Like I said, I said you could have gone with any of the, like, you know what my students tell me. You could have gone with Uncle Phil. You could have gone with Shaq. You could have gone with Suge Knight. You could have gone. You could have gone with Big Isaac Hayes. You could have gone with. There are so many people you could have gone with in the bald guy with the beard section, and you went Dr. Dre. And I promise you, if you could have gone Bun B, but you literally went with, hey, you're black, and I'm getting this album, and it has Dr. Dre on it, and I think you look like him. I was like, all right, cool.
But one thing that I guess that they're saying about the both of us is that we're black and ugly as ever, wherever I stay. Houston down to my socks. Welcome to another episode of the In My Humble Opinion podcast. I'd like to welcome you guys once again. I am your host, Avery, like a very nice guy, also known as Avery Zadius. You can find me at Avery Zadius on all your socials. That's Instagram. That's Twitter. Facebook, I don't have one of those. I'm lying, but you'll never get it. It's Facebook. Nobody gets on it but like my dad or somebody like that. But yeah, you can find me that, like those things. You can also find me at Vince McBands on Instagram too, apparently. I have another Instagram, but no, that really is me. But you know, I meme on both pages, but mostly memes on Vince McBands. And we're over here, our co-host, my brother over there that you have seen that I was talking to. His name is Just Devon. Tell him hi, people. That's hey, me. Just Devon.
That's me, Just Devon. Just Devon. That's all. That's it. Like, what more? I'm not a rapper. Like, I don't have a lot of intro stuff. So, you know, I'm Just Devon.
All right. Well,
all right. You were trying to see how long you could go. That's cool. That's cool. You see, and as you see, as many people know, there's nothing else there. That's it. That's it. Back to you.
With that being said, you can find the both of us, the In My Humble Opinion podcast, both of us at My Humble O on all socials. And no, I'm sorry. Wait, before we get there, you can find my brother, Just Devon, at Dr. Douglas on Instagram and at Just Devon on Twitter. You might want to go to Twitter. He doesn't tweet much, but he's watching. Tweets are watching. Now, like I said before, you can find us both, My Humble O, on all socials, especially Instagram. We be on Instagram heavy. And Twitter, we're going to get on, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Life happens. But with that being said, okay, we usually want to spotlight the talent that we've seen in the great city, the third largest market in the United States, fuck Chicago, third largest market in the United States, Houston, Texas, and most of the surrounding areas. Now, gentlemen that we have with us today, all right, even though I'm not going to hold this against him, he's an Alabama native and a graduate of Alabama A&M with a degree in engineering. Now, that's big. Now, you can bullshit rap if you want, but we all know the big three are doctor, lawyer, and engineer. So put some respect on this man's name. But you know what happened with him? He did all the hard work, looked around in engineering and oil and gas, and goes, nope, wanted to do something that made him happy, all right? He's a man that has a penchant for food, and he's a man that has a penchant for food and has helped him through hard times, his penchant right there, all right? Going places to eat, finding out restaurants has helped him through hard times, and in terms, he's helped people, okay? His name, Keandre Jordan, but he's also known to you, my Southern brand, ladies and gentlemen, my Southern brand.
What's going on?
Hey, how y'all doing?
We're
doing great, brother. How you?
Yes, thanks for having me on.
Love the accent, man. How did you celebrate Mardi Gras this year?
No, I didn't celebrate Mardi Gras this year. Because the part of Alabama I'm from, we don't have Mardi Gras.
Really?
Oh, wait, now. This is because Alabama people like to point this out all the time. Where does Mardi Gras?
Because it's true.
Where does Mardi Gras? So let the audience know, where does Mardi Gras come from?
Well, so Mardi Gras in America was allegedly started in Mobile, when Mobile was the French capital of the Louisiana Purchase, well before New Orleans was even thought about.
So Alabama is home to the real Mardi Gras.
Yes.
That's what they always tell me, you know. And y'all have a better claim to it. We used to say like, oh, you know, Galveston has a Mardi Gras, but it's weak. I'm sorry, the Galveston.
But I think Galveston's like the third largest though.
Yeah, the third largest is still the third largest.
I mean, Houston, the fourth or third largest city. So you know,
it's the third. All right, we know it's the fourth, but no, we
also if we're gonna get, and I'm gonna just say this real quick. This has nothing to do with my Southern brand, and you might want to jump on this, Keandre. My brother took a shot at Chicago. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Chicagoans, all of y'all, Chicagoans, everybody. I ain't got no beef with y'all ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all the one city that I would never play with. There are two cities I wouldn't play with: Chicago, New Orleans. No, there are multiple cities. Miami, parts of the Bay.
All of them.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just it. Probably
trash.
Probably Tuscaloosa. You know what I mean? Like,
that's being funny.
So I'm like, I'm not saying
that's being funny. That's for you.
I'm not saying nothing about y'all cities at all. All right. So you coming from Alabama? First of all, what brought you to Houston? I see you got the Alabama shirt on.
Yeah, it's my Southern brand. It's my Southern brand shirt.
We're gonna get to my Southern brand, but what brings you to Houston in the first place?
So I always wanted to come to Houston, like when I was in the 12th grade. Because in the 12th grade, I knew that I was gonna go to Alabama A&M because that's a traditional school for the family. And then I knew that I was gonna do engineering. I already had got my full scholarship and all that stuff. And so I was like, well, where I'm gonna live at? So I didn't want to go to Atlanta. I still want to be in the South, in a big city, and with a lot of Black people. So Houston was the next best choice. And so Chevron actually gave me the opportunity to move down here. So first it was Mississippi, but the Mississippi people, they didn't want me at the refinery. So the Houston folks got my resume. And 2 days after I got rejected from Mississippi, the Houston people called me and offered me a job here. So I've been here and for like almost, it'll be 7 years in June.
Okay.
Yes.
Now,
so my engineering
you could have wound up in Mississippi.
No.
Not the simp.
Oh man, Mississippi didn't want you, but you didn't really want Mississippi either.
No, but it was close to Mobile. It was close to Mobile. So people that would that work at that refinery, like the young people that live in Mobile, then they all transport down to that refinery in Mississippi.
Oh,
so I didn't want to do that.
Now, the whole thing is, like, even as you're making these moves, and we're going to talk about the blog and my Southern brand and everything, was it always on your mind that you were going to start this kind of side thing that revolves around food and fashion and everything?
No.
So what even prompts that? Like, where does my Southern brand come from?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you how I started. So I've been laid off 6 times, and the engineering field in oil and gas is not for the faint at heart, and I was one of the faint at heart. So in August 2018, I actually I came up. I was like, I gotta do something. I need to do something that is going to. No, well, first, people know that I love crawfish, and folks know that I love to go eat. So I was like, let me be able to put something Black and something with food together, because food is almost synonymous with Black culture, and create something that is going to really knock the socks off the community. So I started the actual blog website in August 2018, but in March 2019, I converted my personal IG page to the food platform that y'all see today. And the reason why I call it my Southern brand is because I just don't understand why Houstonians don't think that they Southern or country. But since I've been here, people's like, oh, you real country, things like that. So people know me. If they don't know me by my smile, they're gonna know me by by how I talk. So I was like, okay, well, there's it's my Southern brand. So let me just find something that works for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't think Houstonians don't know their country?
No, I really don't think y'all know that y'all country. Cause I don't stay far from Sunnyside. That's the raw area of Houston. And they don't sound too much different than me.
They don't. They don't at all. You're right.
They don't sound too much different from me. So I just named it my Southern brand because I am a walking brand. I don't want to. So my thing is, in corporate America, you had to kind of, you had to turn the light bulb on, turn it off. And I wanted my brand and my platform to be something where you can be yourself and not have to worry about who watching you and who's judging you based on who you are and where you come from. So that's why my Southern brand sticks.
All right, here's like a quick flash question.
Yeah.
Everybody said they know you for crawfish. Best crawfish in Houston. You know what? No, top 3 crawfish spots in Houston.
Yeah, because I know why you did that.
Yeah. I had to back it up. Top 3.
I know because we met each other eating crawfish.
Exactly.
No, I'm gonna do top 5. I'm gonna do top 5.
That's real.
So we got the Seafood Connect. That's in Mo City. That's actually the cheaper ones. Because he ran a special for $2.99 this Saturday. He called me and was like, hey, we got some crawfish. That's how I'm already crawfish, boy. You ain't gotta worry about it. So the Seafood Connect in Mo City. Then you got Ito's in East Downtown. Then you have Cooking with Flavor. That's over there off McCower and 610. Then you got J Bond and Keys Cravings.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Jay what?
J Bond. But the thing is, he ain't had his crawfish since last year because he's more of a retail now. Okay. He distribute crawfish. Of crawfish, yeah.
He's craving.
He's like the.
I took notes.
Taking notes.
And I actually have like a top 11 on my page.
You know what? I'm gonna go to your page.
They're already there.
Yeah, I have a top 11.
Let's talk about that because my Southern brand, like, this is literally like even when we were talking, you said, "Look, this is because I like to eat." Yeah. You kept telling people, "I am not a chef. I'm not. That's not what I'm doing. This is literally just because I like to eat." What makes you want to lean so heavily into showcasing like these food spots like this?
Because the thing is, these food spots remind me of myself when I was in corporate America. You was real dope, being dope, but nobody really cared about you for real because the color of your skin. All they want to do was take from you and they get the credit. So and I also felt jaded by our Black brothers and sisters in corporate America because they can be some coons and leave you out there in the dust and out there to get dry. And I said I don't want to do that to these restaurants, especially the restaurants that we know are good, because it's over 600 Black-owned restaurants and food trucks in Houston that most people don't even know about.
And we also talked about that because, we look at my Southern brand, you built up a significant following highlighting Black restaurants, which in the food space, especially even in Houston, like I look at food TikTok on Houston and all these blogs, a lot of Black restaurants tend to get pushed by the wayside. They'll highlight one or maybe two, and it really just be like the popular ones, or
It's the same ones.
it's always the same ones. But there are a lot of spots that just go by the wayside, and it's like, okay, well, this is just the spot that Black people know about, but not you know, I mean, that kind of thing. So what, as you move into the space, what are some of the things that are the stigmas and things like that you got to overcome by getting people to, you know, look at some of this stuff? As he takes a drink.
Okay. Give me a moment. So the next door neighbor, they bouncing the basketball outside if you hear something. But okay, with me being from Alabama, the Black Belt, which is like an area of Alabama that includes majority Black counties. I've always dealt with Black people, seen Black people, politicians were Black, went to HBCU, but until I became an adult and started really being in the Black scene, I didn't realize how hurt we are. And when you work with hurt people who still, everything we put our hands on is gold, it turns gold, we still hurt. And the stigma that I had to go through is working twice as hard to appeal to my own people. Because I know I grew up and folks will always say, well, you have to work twice as hard to appeal to white people. I think that, you know, we in turn, because white folks already know what we can do, but in turn, we got to do that for ourselves, to, you know, within our community, because we don't trust one another and things like that. And I would say the lack of self-love, because a lot of you kind of see it in the ownership as well. And especially how our owners talk down about Black people in the kitchen. Oh, niggas can't do this, niggas can't do that. Oh, that's why I got Mexicans. We gonna get Mexicans in the kitchen, and the food don't be that good. And so what another stigma is trying to, it's two stigmas. Another stigma is the fact that Black people don't have customer service, because a lot of our restaurants do. They just don't know how to market themselves the way that they should. Because a lot of them don't know, they tight-fisted, they don't want to invest in themselves. And then another thing is the stigma here in Houston that Louisiana folks think that Houston folks can't cook. And so with me working 3 times as hard to show the people in Louisiana, from Louisiana that live here, that Houston folks can cook, because that's pretty much the bulk of Houston's population is Louisiana folks. So like I have to really, I have a tough job that people don't realize that I have. It's more than just going and taking pictures. I got to work with some deeply rooted pain, and that's not easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, you know what, I didn't even think about that, because there definitely is a Louisiana, Texas thing where they're like, oh, well, they can cook over here and not necessarily the same. Even though I feel like everybody in Houston got a relative in Louisiana, and vice versa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like we're all related. It's a 5-hour drive. 4 if you're driving fast. So,
well, you talking about New Orleans?
Oh well, yeah. That's true, because that's another thing too. When you talk about Louisiana cooking, a lot of people limit it strictly to New Orleans.
And see, Dean, that's the thing, because what folks don't realize is that, see, I had to do my research, is that New Orleans food is different from Southwest Louisiana food, and Southwest Louisiana is pretty much Houston's culture. And the thing is, when New Orleans people come over here and they try an Acadiana style spot, then they chalk it up and say Houston don't have good food. No, you just tasted some food that is native to Lafayette, Lake Charles, that little area right there, and vice versa. If somebody from Lake Charles tastes a New Orleans style restaurant, did they be like, oh, Houston folks can't cook? No, you just had gumbo from another area of your state that is not how you're raised on, cooking or eating it. So Houston get a bad rep. I would say a lot of it is Houston fault, but then also some of it's not Houston fault.
Now, even on that, because when we're talking about the differences in style of cooking, what are some of the differences between a New Orleans style, like a New Orleans gumbo or New Orleans style food versus the Acadia style?
So per my research, Acadiana style, they use the Holy Trinity, which is onion, bell peppers, and celery. And then their food is more country food, whereas New Orleans food is more of your city food, and New Orleans don't eat boudin. And then also, if folks don't realize, crawfish is not a New Orleans thing; it's more of an Atchafalaya thing. But people associate that with New Orleans, because what happened was because that basin, them bridges before you get to Baton Rouge, what happens is, that area used to flood, and so that's where your crawfish used to come from, and folks don't know that.
How did you learn all of this?
I mean, I had to, so I just did my research and then talking to a lot of people like Seconda. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. Seconda, her people are from Louisiana, and they're and she's from northeast side of Houston, and she told me about a lot of things. I just done my research because with when you're messing with information like as sensitive as Houston's culture, you have to really be on top of the game.
And that research part and that history, because there's a lot of research and history in the way that food cultures shift and travel. I mean, we talk about, what's your take on, which one do you prefer, Cajun style or via Cajun crawfish?
Now you asked me that question, right?
Yeah.
I don't like all this stuff on the outside of that crawfish. I think it's unnecessary. It looks like throw up, and so then that's the thing too, because so them Asians gonna stick together, right? And they which means that they're gonna be richer, they're gonna be more successful, and they're gonna be more marketable because they do it as one. And so with that, they have taken Houston's crawfish scene and made it into their own. So when people from Dallas, from Atlanta, and other places outside of Houston, Mobile, Louisiana, and other Gulf Coast region that eat crawfish a lot, those respective people, they're going to go to the places that have the seasoning or the sauce on the outside. And so now it's like, Houston can't boil crawfish. But really, again, if you go to Sunnyside, you go to the raw areas of Houston, y'all don't put sauce on the outside. It's just that y'all are more hidden, and so the Viet style is more commercialized.
Yeah, and you know what? And that I agree, because that's something that happened relatively quickly. Like, I mean,
it sure did.
It's very easy to find that Cajun style of crawfish where everything is inside the crawfish, and now you can name like a handful of spots where it's like, okay, this is where I gotta go, because everybody sells the via Cajun crawfish style. Like, everybody does it now. Like, I'm gonna just boil some crawfish and I'm gonna throw it in the bag and I'm gonna throw all the seasonings and stuff on top of it.
And then nothing but salt on top of salt on top of salt. Everybody health cautious now. What they don't realize is that style of crawfish is actually salty. Because when you put sauce on something, that has salt content. On top of the fact that now I'm not sure. Now I'm not sure if crawfish is already salty naturally because of their environment. But then if that's the case, you got the natural salt from the crawfish, and then you get the salt from the actual boil, and then you get the salt from the sauce that you put on the outside. So it's just too much.
Now, there are other things. You bring that engineering, research, and technicality into what you're doing, because, like, if you go to My Southern Brand, and I'm hoping everybody goes and takes a look at it, there are some things on there. I mean, you have an article on Sway versus Catfish. I was just gonna say a very passionate article. Because, and as I said, Sway, you exhaled because you have strong feelings about this. Please, if you can just reiterate and just real quick, just kind of summarize up that article so people can know how you feel about stuff like that.
Okay, so that's another stigma. So Houston needs its tail whoop because Houston is known as the Bayou City with all these bayous incorporated within the landscape. You can still see swamps and all that stuff. It sits on the Gulf of Mexico. You got Galveston Bay, but these people be shortchanging us by using things that aren't native to the land. And so swat is one of those. It's a fish that is native to the Vietnam waters. Studies show that this fish do swim in contaminated waters, where when they are rescued, well not rescued, but when they're caught from these toxic waters, they are buffed up with chemicals and antibiotics to kill those toxins. And so it's a cheaper brand of fish that people use to substitute for catfish, which is native to the land. And so most restaurants here in Houston sell that, whether they name it as fried fish or whether they hide it under the nomenclature of catfish. And so when you hide it under catfish, then what happens is it becomes fraud. It's a food safety hazard because you don't know where folks are allergic to at the end of the day. And so me personally, me being from Alabama, we eat brim, catfish, buffalo, white bass, just fish from top of fish because we eat fish every Friday. My grandma probably got some fish in the deep freezer. So when I come here and they're not even giving us what is native to Houston or to the South in general, then it becomes like, dang, like I don't even eat catfish that much, but when I want catfish, I can't even get that.
Now the thing about that too, though, is because you see, and catfish and is it swa or swa?
It's swa.
So catfish and swa, like swa gets passed off for catfish a lot. So
and they look completely different. They look different.
So how does one tell the difference between the two if you're at your local restaurant?
So I wish I had, because I'm real visual. So SWAT is going to have like a big old line in the middle. It's just gonna have a line, and so you can break that into two halves. And so when you break it, you can smell it. It don't smell like nothing. It smells. It has a neutral smell, and which means it's gonna have a neutral taste as well for the most part. And so wherever you smell is pretty much the seasonings that they use to incorporate in the cooking. Catfish, of course, is going to be, it's going to have more ridges, if that makes sense. It's going to be a lot curvier. So you can associate catfish with black folks. You're going to associate swat with white folks. So catfish gonna have strings. So like you can tear the catfish in half. Or it's still gonna have those ridges, and then it's gonna have like strings that disconnect from the other side of the fillet. So catfish smells.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna pull this up right.
Please do, because I'm looking at it right now.
I'm gonna pull it up because the main reason I'm pulling this up is
SWA. This
is SWA, and when you said a long line down the center, a lot of people associate that with catfish. I immediately was like, oh, like a cat. So this is
that's definitely SWA.
So this is SWA, and this is what get passed. So when you get catfish, it's going to be more.
You see catfish, it's fluffy.
Yeah, look at that. That's catfish.
Come on down some more.
Oh, okay.
That's Fisherman's Son right there. That's my favorite fish.
That's catfish.
You see all the ridges?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I can tell the difference.
See, look at that, man. We learned something today. I had no clue. And a lot of people, myself included, just thought, okay, this especially was like, yo, this is catfish right here.
Yeah.
No, it's
And-
not.
Wow.
You see, you don't see, and it's flat too. So it seemed like catfish died and they embalmed it and created swat. That's what it looked like.
Wow.
And the thing about that too is a lot of people will go with the swa because swa is so much cheaper.
Yep.
I'm talking about. I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about the restaurants. So these restaurants will buy. So they're not, because I know for a fact, I have not seen swa on anybody's menu. I've
No,
seen swa
except for one spot in Greens Point.
Really? Okay.
One spot at Greens Point. I say I thank you for putting swa on your menu.
But everybody else is basically just like, yo, this cat
fried fish.
Oh, okay. So I'll pass that off. You know, and that
fried
goes
fish.
and the thing about it is, you unlike, and this is not no food blogger beef. Like, unlike a lot of food bloggers, you really keep up with your restaurants. Like,
I do.
Heavy. Like, you stay with them. So it's like, oh, I know this spot in Greenspoint. I know this or that kind of thing. What goes in your decision about the places you're gonna pick?
Okay, so I used to pick them, and I still kind of pick them now, but now because I provide services, a lot of them reach out to me. So my thing is, you gotta have black cooks. You got to, because just like SWAT, and I get it. People want to make a living off this, but at the end of the day, you have to do it right and not cut corners. These people would get illegal immigrants because they are cheaper labor, and then your food don't even come out as good as it's supposed to. We pay an arm and a leg for a bowl of gumbo that is created by somebody who can't even speak English. That is an issue culturally, because the ancestors ain't going for that. Culturally, and also financially, like who wants to buy something that a native person did not make. And that's not racist or anything. That is, you have to stay true to the culture, and we don't know how to do that. And so I had to make sure, to have black cooks. Because when I walk into a place, I look at the kitchen first. I don't care if your floor ain't swept. I look in your kitchen first. So I look there, and then if you don't have catfish, I just won't take a picture of your fish at all. I get something else on the menu, because that doesn't mean that your restaurant doesn't taste, your food isn't good because you got swab. It just means that it's something else on the menu for me. And also people that want to work with me, and people that are, even though because our people are very traditional, people that are willing to listen, because I'm a millennial that is on Instagram, and I know how millennials speak.
Okay, so I mean, let's expand on that, because where you're dealing with, sometimes you're dealing with older chefs, older owners, older that kind of thing. What is some of the bridges that you have to gap to get them across in order to get them into this world of, hey, look, man, like, that somebody can post a video on TikTok and that restaurant can become something like tomorrow. So you need to understand this. What are some of the hurdles you got to go when you're dealing with some of the owners and
this skin? No, really, we don't. Again, like I said earlier, we don't trust each other. So I will be out of breath, right? I'll be out of breath explaining to these people my work as if they were Chevron or Exxon Mobil, and I was trying to, and they asked me, why should we hire you? And it become exhausting. And then also dealing with a lot of restaurant owners who don't even know how to utilize social media, because their daughter at PV got the password to the social media, and she ain't posting because she got a life too. So, and then folks not understanding their worth. A lot of us don't understand our worth, because white supremacy has really taken a lot of our, I would say, ability to think of our self-worth away.
you find that a lot when you're and you know, before I get into the next question too, because your page has about just your Instagram page alone pulls in about 70,000 followers. Like just that alone, and this is a focus on
Black
black
restaurants.
restaurants, which a lot of people. But if you didn't say, "Oh, that's 70,000 followers and it's focused on black restaurants," they would tell you, "No, people that many people aren't looking for black restaurants."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they don't but let Anna Kate, let Sergio, let Suhan come.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, of course they're gonna lay the red carpet down. But with me, it's like, what? Oh, of course, don't get a call back. It's like, I just don't understand. But I've realized that people gonna pay for what they want to pay for, and I can't care more about your business than you do.
Exactly. Now you were also saying like now you offer services.
I do.
So describe some of those services that get offered now.
Ooh, so actually, I'm working with somebody to help me to expand those and expound on them. So really, right now, I can definitely tell you social media promotion.
Okay.
And I didn't realize, I'm very friendly. I get there, and I just feel so bad for them. And I would sit there an hour with them and tell them the whole game and stuff like that. I tell them everything. And so I was like, okay, I need to incorporate that because now you mess with my time. But really, it's social media advertisement at this point. But of course, everything else is cooking, so I can't talk about other stuff right now.
Yeah, of course. And then and I'll put you on the spot again. Soul food restaurants, Houston, top 5.
Oh, Houston is not big on soul food.
Okay,
soul food,
I was wondering. Talk about that.
So Houston, again, people don't understand Houston's background. Like Houston is very Cajun and Creole influence. So it's going to mimic Louisiana from top to bottom. So now they're so good. They're from Chicago with Alabama and Mississippi roots. They're good. And then you have Elmer's Bits and Pieces that I just found out through my friends who went to PV. I found out about them like a week and a half ago. They're good. They actually, both of those have catfish, but everybody else is Creole, Cajun, seafood influenced.
Okay.
Yes. So there'll be shrimp in the spaghetti. There'll be seafood dressing, which I love seafood dressing. I would definitely eat that over regular dressing. Yeah. So that Houston doesn't have like soul food like that.
Now, when you go into a restaurant too, are there certain? I know probably because our mom's from Louisiana, and I'll try any restaurant's gumbo immediately. I'm not gonna like it most times, but I'm gonna try it out. Are there certain dishes that you go to when you come in? We know we talked about catfish, of course, but when you walk into a place, it's like, okay, I'm here. I know I need to try this out, and this here is gonna really tell me whether y'all know what y'all doing.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not that big of a gumbo person, and I know everybody make their gumbo different. Like everybody make their sweet potatoes different.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you only have soiree, no type of restaurant you are, you want to save money. Shoot, what would be something? Dang, that's a question that I don't even have the answer to.
Oh, it's all right.
The thing is, but going back to like who's back in the kitchen, Black folks can cook, right? So if I go in your restaurant and see black hands, then I can trust it.
Okay.
If I don't see black hands, then I already know that this is gonna be a waste of money. So I'm gonna turn back around and go to Raising Cane's because at that point I'm turned off.
It's crazy.
Raising Cane's?
You see them look? Never mind. I can't say it.
You got the edit button.
But you know what? The funny thing about it too is it's kind of like you get to a certain standard because people might be like, "Oh, okay, that's harsh," but other cultures say that about their own food as well. So it's kind of like there's a Chinese food restaurant, and it's like, yeah, no, that's the Chinese food restaurant for y'all. Like, if I'm gonna go to a real Chinese food restaurant, my friends that are Chinese are like, I gotta go to a place where Chinese people are cooking. Like, it just doesn't make it.
But when we do things, it's like when we do things, we are racist.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't stand that. Like I hate that we have to share our snacks with everybody.
Yeah.
Like, and if we don't share them, then we are penalized for that. Whereas the Asians got their own communities, and then their asses come over into our community, and a lot of it is our fault too. Come over here into our communities and sell our food. Yeah. Like we so gullible. Like we do not have the keys. We don't hold the keys to our own stuff because we always feel like if somebody else of another race put their hands on it, then it's better. No, like we got to learn how to keep things in house.
Yeah,
and that's an issue.
Absolutely, and so that's your whole goal with My Southern Brand is to highlight a lot of those Black businesses so that they can get the press and the publicity, so people will continue going there.
Yeah, but you got other places like, say for instance, Lotus. You don't know how many times people didn't ask me, is Lotus Black owned? And I was like, no, it's cultural appropriators.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I kind of don't blame them because it's so crazy to me. I go to these Black restaurants. Oh, we want to reach out to white folks. We want to be diverse. But you got Lotus, 90% of their customer base is probably Black people.
Oh yeah.
And they are making a lot of money. Line be out the door. But you mean to tell me, as a Black-owned restaurant, you want other races to come to your restaurant? They can, right? But the thing is, those other races gonna come because they want to. Mm-hmm. And when you try to force it, then what you do is you pissing us off, especially Black women.
Oh yeah.
So at the end of the day, like we look outside of the race, inside the culture for refuge, and it shouldn't be like that.
Because you look at spots like Lotus, you look at spots like
Calliope is named.
They don't even say the name
most
right.
Infamous New Orleans project. They made New Orleans the murder capital back in the 90s, I think. Why is it Asian owned?
They call it Calopes. Everything that you're saying makes so much sense. The whole fact of what's the lad? Lotus crack sauce. I'm sorry, cultural appropriation.
They named after drugs.
Yes,
named after drugs.
Then I go to
community. But we say, I don't care. I don't like have some decency for the fact that Harriet Tubman did the Underground Railroad. Rosa Parks didn't give up her seat, and Martin Luther King literally died for our protecting the culture. Like we are doing ourselves a disservice. Like we're not breaking anything.
Now
we're still continuing the pathology of ignorance in the community.
Absolutely. And My Southern Brand, your goal is to get out past that. You're talking about, like you said, expanding things out. What are your plans for the future just with the blog and the brand itself to help continue along this pathway?
To be honest, I didn't know I was going to be here, honestly. So I'm going wherever God take me because this is a ministry at the end of the day. And you never know, where your calling is going to take you. So my thing is I just want to stay on this path and continue to walk it because every day is something new.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what? We didn't even talk about we spent our time talking about food and the ins and outs of food. That the brand is not just the food blog. Let's talk about the clothing side of it as well.
Oh, so actually, yeah, so I do merchandise. So this shirt got a little stain on. This what I was looking at because I ain't trying to look in my eyes. I was like, Lord, and I need to clean this right here. I'm like, Lord, they got on camera. But anyway, yeah. So this sweatshirt was like was just used for shits and giggles for the actual photo shoot. But yeah, the official sweatshirt is in the washroom right here. But yeah, so I got merchandise, and so what it does, it says my Southern brand going around the state in which you're from or where you live in, and then it's right here, like in the chest, the center of the chest for the sweatshirt, and then it's right here on your left breast for the actual t-shirts.
And actually, I'm gonna pop that on the screen real quick for our YouTube viewers, so you can see the different one. And it's focused when you say my Southern brand, like you highlight Southern states. Yeah, all Southern states.
But not all of them, because see, here's the thing. I had to nigger read a lot of stuff now, because of course with the finances, with the inventory, I couldn't get everything. So pretty much getting the more popular Southern states that are represented in the Houston area. Because of course you got to have Texas and Louisiana. And then because I'm from Alabama, and then, with my home base from Alabama, of course I had to do that. And I have Mississippi friends, Florida friends, and Georgia as well.
Yeah. I was about to say Florida. I guess we do have a lot of Florida people out here.
Yeah, but it's a lot of Alabama people here too, because a lot of that opt out of going to Atlanta come here now.
Now, when you, because a lot more people are now moving to the Houston. I mean, it's always been that way, but you get a lot of people moving to the Houston area. You plan on keeping this in Houston, or do you ever plan on expanding out? And do you ever plan on just going back home to Alabama? Which one do you prefer?
I definitely think the Alabama food tastes better.
Okay.
Because of all this stuff that I talked about, if Houston, if these back home restaurants get no, I'm gonna say if it ain't got to be back home, but if these restaurants get the respective culture to work in their kitchens, Houston will be at the top.
And Houston already known for having a good
Mexican food. That's all we eat, because it's all cooking. So at the end of the day, if Houston is at a C right now, if you have the Asians cooking the Asian food, the blacks cooking the black food, the white folks cooking the white food, Houston would be up there, like tops. But Houston is definitely long term for me. For me, I don't want to sit here and expand when I have not even gone into the nitty gritty of Houston. People like to expand without actually setting a foundation, and I don't think I've set a foundation yet.
So you still feel like there's a lot more in Houston than
because it's almost like it's like I'm pulling the ropes, and it's like, dang, it's something else, it's something else, it's something else, it's something else.
Dang, okay.
Yes.
So I guess then when we're talking before we get ready to start closing out and stuff, what are some of the food places that are on your horizon, and what are some of the foods that you're interested in just trying out here in Houston?
What you mean on the horizon?
On the horizon in terms of who are some of the restaurants that you're starting to look at, or that you're planning on going to soon? If you can tell us, can you tell us yet, or you got to wait till they post on the blog?
Both. I mean, that. Because I don't be knowing. I really don't be knowing. I don't be knowing, because see, people been watching me for probably like 5 months or so, and then they'd be like, okay, I'm reaching out to you because I've been watching you, because they want to make sure, of course I get it, that they'll be getting their money's worth. and that our brands will create some type of synergy. So I don't have any on my horizon.
Oh, okay.
No.
And no particular, you know what? Just for shits and giggles, like what's your favorite food?
Crawfish.
It's crawfish hands down.
I get like it's crawfish because see, here's the thing. What people don't know is I am currently battling depression and anxiety from what I've been through in corporate America. That stuff still haunts me to this day. And then also some other personal stuff. So instead of punching the wall, I cracking open crawfish and cracking on the head is therapeutic. It's really therapeutic for me. Because people are like, oh, you gotta work so hard for all that little piece of meat. No, it's an experience for me. That's where I can literally when I look at these black-owned restaurants like they're my students sometimes. So it's like when the student, then they kind of got on my nerves a little bit. I need to go get a drink. So getting crawfish is like it's therapeutic. What else you asked? I'm sorry.
No, it was it.
Oh no, my favorite food. My favorite food.
Your favorite food.
Oh, so I mean, but I was forced to be in love with Cajun and Creole. I was forced into that because within the Black community, that's really what our community here has is Creole and Cajun.
Creole and Cajun food. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you gotta love that because if not, you ain't gonna get no pinto beans, or I don't even eat pinto beans, but it's gonna be hard to try to find. Oh, I forgot about the Greasy Spoon. The Greasy Spoon is a soul food restaurant. It's on the north side.
Yeah, I'm about to say, are you a picky eater? Because you told us you don't eat pinto beans. You don't.
No, I'm gonna tell you, I don't like soul food unless it's at my grandma's house because everybody makes soul food differently.
Yeah.
And I think everybody's is picky in a certain degree.
Because I was gonna say too, I think soul food, gumbo, barbecue, they fall under, like, you know, people will come in town and they'll be like, what's a barbecue spot I need to go to, or what's a soul food spot, or what's a whatever.
You want to tell you what I tell folks, if you want barbecue, go to them spots after the club. The one that they put their grills over there by the strip clubs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's the best barbecue. That's the barbecue that I'm used to. And then you're gonna pay $12, you can barely close your plate.
No, that's how I really feel, because these are more backyard familiar things that I'm like, that there aren't
boudin and all this stuff. I love it.
Yeah. And there aren't
better than raised ribs.
Huh?
Better than raised though.
Well, if you know, I don't put black business out like that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah, let's keep it moving like it's
No, I actually had raised one time. That food was good when we went for Queen of Yams Numb New Orleans tour. And we raised this on the tour. That was some actually good barbecue. But I do prefer that backyard barbecue because I can eat the barbecue in my car. I don't have to have anything that's fancy when it comes to barbecue. I want to see the fat. I just all my meats and stuff can mix together, so that I'm not particular when it comes to I'm not bougie when it comes to barbecue. Not saying that Ray's is, but I would prefer to go to like the backyard stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely. Even with that being said,
and I like Burns too. I've actually had Burns stuff too.
Yes.
So those two, I would definitely, as far as restaurant goes, I would definitely recommend those. But like I say, even like in Alabama, I don't even go to like the barbecue spot. I just don't. I prefer all that stuff made at home.
Even with that being said, you said you prefer to go to the barbecue man, as we all call them, the barbecue man that is outside of a strip
Chevron, gas station, the strip club, all this where at the address.
Is
where
there
I
one
like going.
particular that you could recommend to this fat guy right here?
Shoot, I don't know their names. They just be coming
No,
from
not the names. Just one in the.
He's just talking about the area.
Yeah, because I'll find it.
Third ward off of Emancipation. And then I don't know. I don't know if they're still there, but it's a cabaret. Well, I'm gonna just say strip club because I never called it a cabaret. But it's a strip club. It's a strip club off of 90 and Willow Bend over there, right south of 610. Mm-hmm. And it be some people under that bridge, under the 90 bridge. Like,
oh,
right,
you talking about gold diggers? Yeah,
gold diggers. Yeah, I like now. It scared me a little bit because the potato salad was pink, but it was actually good.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm right
here.
It
was actually good. I don't know if they there, but I do know that wherever I see the Boudin Man or somewhere, I'm gonna go stop there because I know I'm gonna get me some good barbecue.
For sure.
Okay. Well, that's not that is definitely he's gonna be out there tonight. I'm telling you.
Forget the barbecue, nigga. I don't go to strip clubs.
Okay,
Let's clarify the narrative. This guy hates strip clubs, loves barbecue though.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. We really want to thank you for coming out, like I say, or staying in and just picking up your phone. I mean, I really want to thank you for everything read your story, for everything that you've gone through. For you to be able to spread the positivity instead of spreading any type of hate. And the thing that you do, cracking the crawfish makes you feel better. More power to you. And one more thing. Oh my God. When you got on that tangent about calliops, I go in there, they go calopes. I'm looking there, I go, that's literally calliops. I'm never eating.
It's gentrification of our stuff. We just so mad. We need to stop being so gullible and get back to owning our roots. I'm so tired of it. And then when you want to tell folks what it is, then they say, "Oh, I don't see color." But everybody see us as being black. Like I don't. Yeah. That's a whole nother conversation for me.
See, that's what's up. And that's why this podcast can go even longer, but we can't. We can't at the moment, man. I want to thank you, like I said, for coming by. This has been a great day with the gentleman, Keandre Jordan, also known as My Southern Brand, ladies and gentlemen. Follow him. My Southern Brand. Okay. And your 3rd year anniversary is coming up, so hope to look out for you.
No. It was just my 2nd year.
I'm saying it's your 2nd year anniversary on September.
So you know what? So I celebrate my 2nd anniversary. I celebrate my anniversary in March.
Okay.
Okay.
When y'all saw the food stuff on the actual page.
Yeah.
Okay. So I look at that as in March.
Well, there you go. You just had your 2nd anniversary, man, out here doing big things. This has been another great episode. Humbly yours, and My Humble Opinion podcast. H-Town is too